graduate with you guys. Right? So
you are still one of us.
One of us are. The problem is that I graduated with a class of 1991, and then they keep putting me in that class. And all these years, I get all these nagging emails from that class, and not from this class. So that's why I've never been here, but I'm so glad this time because of Myhahn. She keeps nagging me. So anyway, before my minute is up, I just want to let you guys know. Right now I'm at UCSF. After graduation, I went to UC San Diego, did residency. I ran into John there, but very briefly, just passed by.
She ran away, still survived.
Smart girl.
I'm sorry.
And then I came back here, did a fellowship in pulmonary, and then I continued my research, and I stay until now. So I started doing a lot of research in lung development and lung repair, but now I did more clinical in the past few years. Yeah. So very happy to be here and so happy to connect with all of you. Yeah.
Okay, I'm responsible for pulling Thienu and insist that she came tonight. So Thienu was my maid of honor in my wedding. So we still kept very connected all these years. And remember Robbie Gibish, and Robbie is still a very good friend, and I think Robbie named his first child after my husband's Daniel. Wow. So we're still keeping contact, so a name from the past. I think I work in the same medical group as Vivien and Todd Kay, so small world. I have 4 kids. I'm currently doing occupational medicine at the Palo Alto Medical Foundation. So I have 4 kids, 125, and then triplets at 15.
Yeah.
When I first had, when I told my oldest kid that we're gonna have 1 more kid, and then I said maybe 2. And finally I said, I think we're having 3. He said, Mom, make up your mind. And then why didn't you get 3 dogs instead? So here I am, and we're in Palo Alto, so I hope that if you come down, give us a ring.
Funny?
Sorry, too much wine.
Something different.
That last one's making me gonna live. So,
I haven't touched her.
I'm I'm working under the UCSF clinical umbrella with 9 other people, which is mostly UCSF and a couple Stanford people. Sorry, but they've converted. We have UCSF students coming through and residents, but anyways, and I live in Mill Valley still, and we have 3 kids, and 2 have graduated from college and live on the East Coast, and 1 still at home, and he's off to college in the fall. And
to where? Stanford.
It's kind of good because he only knows how to let down the freeway and not. It worked out. So and otherwise, I think I take too many calls from one. But that's it. But you know, and if you give me 20 extra seconds, I'll tell you that Juanito decided to suddenly kind of move to the Philippines the day after Thanksgiving. So that's where he is right now. And he's still doing like teleradiology. Karen, please. And he's trying to, for many years, he's been trying to do business ventures and related to radiology. And so that's it. So.
I'm happy to be here with Lori, and we've been in Denver for the last 30 years, and we have three boys. They're in their 20s. One's 27, 25, and our youngest is 20. And it's great to be back. We practiced GI at Kaiser in Denver, and Lori's retired from the NNLSU She's retired from being president of the synagogue in about 2 months. All we have is Rocky at home. He's our 12-year-old Norwich Terrier, so it's pretty quiet. What did I miss? No, it's great to be here.
I'll go over there.
Hey, Joe.
You guys have like an hour. Where do I begin? Anyway, I was here 5 years ago, and I felt like because I just finished breast cancer and chemo, and I felt so terrible, but I was so happy to be here. And you look gorgeous. So I'm a million times happier to be here now because. My now ex-husband, and you all knew Neil, my baby, who I had when he's 30, and I spent the night at his place last night. He was with his girlfriend in San Francisco. And then I had one more, Will, and he lives in Sacramento with his girlfriend Ashley, and I spent the day with them today. And so now I'm in Michigan, and I did that 2 years ago. I did something crazy. I had decided to get a divorce because my mom had Alzheimer's. See, you just need an hour. Now I have a wonderful new husband. His name is Nick. I'm sorry he can't be here now, but he's back in Detroit with my mom. They watched the Red Wings game today. They lost, but they are in the playoffs anyway. They backed in. And I work 2 days a week at Henry Ford. I retired from UC Davis, and I'm so happy to see all of you, and I'm very happy that I'm doing very well. Yeah.
This feels about as intense as medical school.
I know.
My wonderful husband Jimmy and I are here. I'm so sorry in the sense I missed all the other reunions. This has been a blast. It is great to see everybody. I must admit, people don't look like they've changed at all.
Thank you. Not true.
I've done a little bit of everything. I worked for Kaiser for 11 years. We lived in a small town, Grand Junction, private practice there for 8 years, back in Denver. Did float work locally only for another 8 years, and now back in private practice to put my son to college. I'll be 20 tomorrow. And working part-time, I work part-time my whole career, and having a good time. We love Colorado, and we'll probably stay there forever.
Part-time work.
Family practice. Family practice. Yes.
I'm Anna Pacheco Park, so it's great to see everybody again.
Precious as
I'm working in Santa Rosa. I'm still doing family medicine. I still do obstetrics. I'm into delivery pilots, but go family medicine where they'll be. I have a 26-year-old daughter that is now at UC Irvine, her second year of medical school, studying for her boards. And it's been a pleasure. It's been wonderful. I love what I do, and if anybody wants to come to Santa Rosa and work in primary care, please contact me. I'm recruiting. We need internal medicine, pediatrics, and family medicine, so please. Really happy to be here. I was here 5 years ago, so we would be back, even though Sandra and Anna were hesitant. I said I'm going anyway, but Sandra and Anna joined us, so I'm very glad to be here. Same husband, Barry.
All your husbands?
Same Barry, different husband.
And she has the same chickens, but now she has a rooster.
So 28 years. Yeah, 28 years married. 2 dogs from Art from Pinilla. Anyway, rescued a Chihuahua and a Australian Shepherd mix. 3 hens, 1 rooster, which we didn't know was a rooster until we woke up in the morning. He's pretty decent, 7 o'clock. This is this is unheard of, that a rooster at 7 o'clock gets going. So anyway. But you will leave the hens alone though. It's and we lost, anyway, we had hens for like 10 years, and this last batch I said, no, I'm done. I don't want to take care of another thing. I'm done. And so Brooke, my daughter, who's 19, and a 23-year-old son, too much wine.
I know she talked about the chickens before I did.
That's what my children say. The dogs, the hens, all the horse before the children. So, let's see. Brooke is 19, Chapman, a freshman. Chapman Orange in Southern California. Joshua is 23, a first-year medical student at Vanderbilt.
Sounds expensive.
We're still working. I wasn't thinking clearly, which made me the cobalt from my hip replacement that I had 8 years ago. But I signed a 10-year lease a year ago. So I'm like, oh my God, why did I do that? But anyway, it's fine. I love that. I'm doing ophthalmology. I love it. I love ophthalmology. I'm extremely grateful that I can do it. I love it. It's great. So it's worked out very well. I've been in the same physical office for 25 years.
Wow.
So, anyway, what else? That's it, I think.
Andy is growing taller.
Let's see, I have probably the hard one. Wandered more than anybody. I had to stop.
Wait, start over.
I'm a little bit hoarse, I'm getting over a cold. I've been back in the Bay Area for about 6 years. I was in Michigan before that, but Petoskey.
Oh, nice area.
Yeah, for 7 years. I came back here with my daughter, and I was actually the CMO at St. Francis for about 3.5 years. And I was attending over at UC, and one of my colleagues suggested that I apply for a job at Stanford. They want to get rid of me, so I'm actually down working at Packard, doing a little bit of teaching, a little bit of primary care, and doing some administrative work for the medical group that we have. There's about 150 physicians in the Bay Area.
Wow.
I have a 17-year-old daughter at home. She's a junior in high school, so we're going through all that kind of college exploration and trying to figure out life and that sort of thing. I'm here with Karen, my sweetheart, who's tall also. And it's great. This is the first reunion that I've been back to. I guess I was at the party at Malcolm's house, but I didn't come to the dinner and really connect with everybody since our 10th reunion. So it's really wonderful to see everybody, and I'll keep coming back.
Okay. I am in solo private practice, internal medicine in Santa Rosa, where Anna and Mike are.
Come talk to me, please.
A couple years ago, I changed my practice over to a concierge practice, so I don't think Anna wants to talk to me anymore. And I have no wife, I have no kids, so I do other things, and for the past 2 years, up until 2 months ago, I was the president of an organization called the Buddhist Churches of America.
Oh, wow.
So we have 60 churches and temples over the U.S., and for the past 2 years, that was my problem. And as most of you know, near here, near Mission Bay, there is a ballpark where today the San Francisco Giants unfortunately lost to the Los Angeles Dodgers. But if anybody ever wants to go see a game down there, with the exception of Saturdays, I am still a season ticket holder there with a friend of mine who lives in the city, and we've had tickets ever since that ballpark opened. So if anybody wants any tickets, but the Saturdays are kind of hard to do, because sometimes you buy.
Oh, that's so nice.
What's your phone number?
If you want tickets for any other day besides Saturday, let me know, because we'd like to get rid of them. Thank you.
I too am in Santa Rosa 2 days a week with the gang, and where I practice internal medicine and addiction medicine. And I somehow got waylaid back in the 90s into treating drug addicts, alcoholics, and I'm associate medical director at Youth Treatment Center in Lafayette, where I work 2 days a week. And 1 day a week, we're in Treatment Center, which is a methadone program in Santa Fe. So if you've got problem pain patients that are abusing their opioids, you know, there's some.
Wow.
I was doing fairly well until about 4.5 years ago when I went for my annual physical. I was diagnosed with acute kidney failure and anemia. And then in the workup, they discovered I had Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Oh my God.
So I went into chemotherapy, and that really knocked me down. Because, like, I don't even go into the details, but it really does knock you down for a couple of years. And I came out of it fairly unscathed, except for some lung damage.
Well, congratulations.
To be among the survivors in the room. Yeah. And I blame it on the pre-med chemistry class.
Yeah,
That's sort of the end of the story. I've raised some children of other people's who have graduated from Berkeley. And I want to welcome a few from Florida.
All right.
Hello. My name is Michael Sweeney. It turns out I did go to a family practice residency with Anna and Mary Bogle and Scott Everly in Santa Rosa. I've stayed there. I've worked for Kaiser Permanente. But it hasn't been all that permanent. Because I have now retired. I appreciate knowing how many of you are pleased to see that I'm no longer. In spite of your opinion, I actually did enjoy it. And surprisingly, think I did it at least all right.
That's the drug speaking.
Loretta?
that I might have been addicted to medicine.
He will never change.
This is a family show. I do have 2 daughters. They're both lovely. Unfortunately, their mother passed away when they were 10 and 12. And they had to have their dad lead them through menarche.
I'm sure you did fine.
There were always enough tampons in the house. So if you find that is fine, yes, I did fine. But I, like the rest of you, have tended to be a little bit hard on myself. So I expected a wee bit more of myself than just having those stupid things in it, but they were there. They're both doing well. They're 27 and 25. And the younger one is actually getting married. Oh. Dad, we're doing it like this. What do you mean it's like a marriage? I haven't done enough of those myself. Okay, all right. I'm on number 3 for the last 2 years now, and it's going well. I do trust the applause means at least he's not going to be snooping around me anymore. Al, settle down, it's okay. Above all, I've been delighted to be here because we really do have a wonderful class.
Yes, we do.
And when Dr. King was up there, I was not kidding when I said in 1982, we had a great group. And someone has talked about diversity, granted. And I'm talking about us being a diverse group because we have different personalities, we have different styles, we have different abilities, but everybody in our class has been exceedingly bright and able. I am very pleased to be here and to have a chance to spend time with you guys has been great. Thank you.
Yay!
So I'm in private practice psychiatry and down in Palo Alto, and
You look exactly the same, Trudy.
And you think exactly the same, yes.
And married for, I don't know, 27 years or something. And I have a 25-year-old son who's half launched. Living at home, he's a weightlifter and a personal trainer and going to school for my class. My daughter's 19 and a freshman at UC Santa Cruz and loving it in theater. And I'm just not as funny as Mike.
But you look a lot better.
So yeah, and what do I do for fun? I garden a bit, and I don't know, I'm kind of a boring person sometimes. I work hard, I work very hard, and I like what I do, and I'll be doing it forever because my kids are in college.
That's what my son does. My wife is adjusting her contact. He takes his cell phone up and he does this. Right next to her. She's like doing this. I'm not as funny as Trudy. I've been married for 25 years. That's all going pretty well. I married one of my interns when I was in pediatric residency. We shared a call room. What can I say? somebody to know. We're keep this on the PG.
You should have followed Sweeney.
I did 2 residencies because I couldn't make up my mind. No, actually, this is what happened. I thought I was going into pediatrics, and I had this horrible rotation. It was called the NICU. And I was like, oh my God, these people are depressing. And then I did this rotation in the general, as we know it. And it was with Schlobaum and all those characters doing physiology, and I thought this is completely awesome. But it was too late to switch into anesthesia. So I thought, well, the obvious thing is I'll just continue in pediatrics and then do anesthesia after that. So that's what I did. Wow. And it was completely awesome. And so then I thought, well, I'm a master of the obscure, so I'll do I'll pick a specialty with the longest possible name and most adjectives. So I made pediatric cardiac anesthesiology. Do chronic pediatric pain management just because that's really like super weird. I in a search for obscurity, I moved to Arkansas and joined the University of Arkansas 24 years ago. Where is that? It's like in the middle of the Clintons were leaving, so there was a vacancy. About that and it's this weird place where like the 7th largest pediatric hospital in North America that nobody's ever heard of. And,
really good. There was a vacancy.
I was leaving from I did pediatrics at Harbor UCLA with Georgia and some other of our lackeys. And then I went to Penn where I realized that, God damn, these people are arrogant. I had to find somewhere else to go, and I just picked this place out of the, almost out of the phone book. It was out of the I was like, hey, do you guys need a pediatric anesthesiologist? And they're like, yeah, totally. So I was like the big fish in the small pond.
It's a great program.
I live on 28 acres of mostly woods out in the middle of nowhere.
Yay.
And it takes me 25 minutes to get to the hospital. And, where else can you do that? Nowhere.
Beautiful.
If you live close.
Yeah.
So I have 2 kids, fantastic. They're smarter than me because they didn't go into medicine. They had 2 parents who were doctors. My wife's a pediatrician. And they were like, no way, you guys have to work on your day off. And I go, no, correction, we get to work on our day off. You live to work. Well, we work to live. So they're 22 and 24, and they're totally awesome. So, if you ever drop by Arkansas, right in the middle. So when you're stopping at the KFC or something,
Okay, so you all know, I'm older than God's dog. I joined this class at 35 years old, right? Yeah. I'm really disappointed. You all look amazing. I'm supposed to be the one who's setting the trend, right? I'm so pissed off. You're supposed to be fat. You're supposed to have jobs. You all have to have had joint replacements. Well, some of you have actually, and I have not. But, so, let's be serious, okay? For like 1 second. You know me, I'm just so thrilled to be here tonight. I just want to say that I feel you're just the greatest group that I've ever seen. You were phenomenally accepting of me as the oldest in your class. I realized that I could run circles around you, but I'm still working on running circles around you. I have had an incredible career in drug development. I am the MD who actually brought Enbrel to market.
Yay!
And I have, in the last 20 years, been the, I don't know, I guess you'd go up the ranks, right? I mean, like I started out as a medical director at Immunex with Enbrel and VP and multiple startup companies. I'm currently, though, I'm really excited. I'm working with a group of people who are from industry, who have 20 years of experience, and we're doing biosimilars. And it's because I love to be disruptive. You know that, right? Yes! And don't give me any crap. I will tell you how it's going to happen. So the thing is that I developed Enbrel, and I'm really upset about the fact that over the last 20 years, it's gone from $15,000 a year per patient to $40,000 a year per patient, and it really pisses me off because my name's on every publication with that drug, right? So we started a company. We know that, and that's not making me happy. So we started a company. We're doing biosimilars, which is generics for biologics. I'm with a company called Coherus. You will hear about us because this is our year. And we are developing biosimilars, and we are basically developing a drug, biosimilar of Enbrel, a biosimilar of Humira, a biosimilar of pegfilgrastim, a biosimilar of Avastin. And we are going to cut the price of the biosimilars because if we don't, our medical system is going to implode, right? So you know I'm disruptive. I was disruptive in the class.
Oh yeah.
Right? I mean, I wasn't kind of at your parties. Sorry. I think I'm in here somewhere. And Sweeney is like putting, I think he's putting those rabbit ears over me. So he was right behind me. Anyway, you know, I want to say that I'm kind of amazed at the fact that I'm still working and that I'm still like so excited about what I'm doing. And I know you all are as well with your careers. And I just think that's what we have as a group, is that we have this incredible passion for what we do as doctors. And whether you're doing primary care, or you're doing drug development, or anesthesia in Arkansas, or cardiovascular in, where the hell are you? Sacramento. I think what I love about our class is that we just have a passion, just a phenomenal passion for what we do. And that's what I love about all of you. And I'm telling you, I'm going to be back here at the 50th reunion. I'm going to look better than all of you. Because with the joys of plastic surgery. And cool sculpt, I will look like you, Georg. Anyway, I just want to say I love you all. I am incredibly honored to be among you and to be part of this group. You are the most phenomenal people. You do every day, you touch people's lives, and I truly just adore you. So thank you for letting me be part of your group, and I'm just so thrilled that you're all here. It's wonderful.
Good to see you all. It's been an incredible ride for 30 years. We graduated, and the exciting things that I hear that people are doing, it's just phenomenal. It's just wonderful to see in how many different directions everybody's gone. And I have to say, I've had a great ride too. And it's like, when is this going to stop? Now I'm looking at retirement at some point, and I don't want to
No,
There is a cardiologist in Sacramento where I work who is still in practice at 80.
Wow.
And I kind of shake my head. It's like, I don't have anything else to do. But this is what happens. And with the economy crashing in various places in various decades, and people don't have enough to wait for retirement, so they have to put their kids to school and so forth. You know how it is. Well, I've been in cardiology since '92 after I finished my fellowship in central Massachusetts. And I've been in Sacramento ever since that time. First worked for Sutter Health for about 7 years, where I cut my teeth, so to speak, until I knew what I was doing. And I joined a bunch of gung-ho cardiologists who are all workaholics, and that's all we are. But we have been survivors. In Sacramento, there used to be 3 private cardiology groups. 2 have died, and we're the only ones that are outside the hospital system still alive. And it's nice to see that. Our practice has changed tremendously with Obamacare. We now see a lot of Medi-Cal patients. You know, a quarter of the population is now on some kind of Medi-Cal plan. And we have some connections with some of the plans. We can effectively and very quickly work people up at a fraction of the price that a hospital group can work up a patient. The fees are just astounding what the hospital charges. You know, for an echo, the hospital will charge you $1,500. Well, you don't get that in private practice. You get a fraction of that, and the health plans know that. And so it's kind of an interesting field. We learn about the business of medicine as well as, of course, you do with care. But it's been an eye-opener that what's been happening in Sacramento. The Kaiser is, of course, very big. Has a good share of the market, but the private medicine is sort of on the dying mind a little bit. It's sad to see. But anyways, I still like it, and we're still quite busy, and I hope to do it for another 5-6 years or so, and then go from there.
Well, we're really glad to see that your gold cane is not holding you up.
Yeah, I haven't needed hip replacement yet, that's all. But my eyes and my ears are not as good as they used to be. My wife Dagmar, who I've been married to for the past 10 years, have been wonderful years, and she tells me, if she says something on one side of the house, and I can't hear a damn thing.
That's what he says.
I go out there and find out what's going on. Well, the other thing I'd like to briefly share, we're both outdoorsy people, and I've become a country boy. And we purchased a couple of acres outside of Sacramento, about 40 minutes outside of Sacramento in the boonies towards Tahoe. And we love to be out there. We have a huge garden. We do a lot of planting, and we do everything one can do in the garden. It's just fabulous. The other day I was pruning. You know, there's always something to do. We just put.
I love pulling weeds.
We just put. No, I have to be honest with you. I know Roundup. This is something. Well, then maybe you cheated, but if you have 2 acres to take care of, but you learn how to weed eat, and you learn how to take care of irrigations and rototill. We just put a fruit orchard in. I just planted last weekend 7 trees, and now with the rain in, I'm going to put the irrigation in maybe next weekend. So it's stuff like this that we really enjoy, and we continue to enjoy the mountains whenever we can. Go hiking. One of our favorite places is up at Sonora Pass. If you ever make it up there, the road is, I think it's 23% grade up there. Oh, man. So you have to almost push your car up there. But we take the motorhome up there, and there's nobody up there. You can just pull your motorhome over, and you're at 9,000 feet, and it's you and the stars and the skunks. Wow. And from there, the Pacific Crest Trail goes over the top. On the right side, you go to Mount Leavitt. On the left side, you go to Sonora Peak. And it's just incredible up there. I mean, you're by yourself up there, and it's just hiking. It's not climbing, but it's fabulous. So we love to do things like this. Anyways, I don't want to take up more time.
I don't want to be in your way.
Brief summary summary for me, I'm living in Arizona for the last 23 years now. Back where I grew up. Some of you know I'm from a big family. I had a 3-year-old brother when we started the class. So he's grown up, he's living here in town now. And so I'm back where 6 of us siblings are, plus my parents, and having a great time. I'm doing anesthesia in a group in Chandler, Arizona, just outside of Phoenix. And I've just had a great life. I've had a nice time in my practice. I still love the ocean. I'm in Arizona. Sounds
George Strait song.
The climate scientists keep telling me. I got my board waxed. Propped up against the saguaro cactus. So my wife and I have 2 kids, 2 boys. They're both in college now, and so life's been kind of different the last 6-8 months. No kids in the house, a couple of dogs, and I travel around. I love my work, love my life, have a good time with my family, and I'm just a lucky guy. And speaking of that, being part of this bunch is a pretty special deal to me. You guys are pretty incredible. I've got a son that's a frat, just joined some frat. I was never in anything like that, but to me, this is the kind of brotherhood and sisterhood we have that'll last forever. I had such a great thing. I don't know why they let me into this bunch. When I was begging during my interviews, I wasn't even invited, but I forget his name. I went to the Dean of Admissions office, and I actually told this guy, whatever his name is, said, "Hey, I know you guys probably won't take me," because I was told that. But I told this guy, "If you take me, I promise I'll do everything I can to make sure you never regret it." I think I screwed that up in the first day. But you know, being part of this bunch has been fantastic. And I'm just an appreciative guy. So thanks. Great seeing all of you.
Wait, I have to say, John is way too modest, okay? He's been the chief of 2 hospitals, chief of anesthesiology forever, like, and he does surf every other day. I mean, you know, like 11 days. He drives down like 11 days. But he run 2 hospitals and surf 11 days of the month down in Mexico.
Well, so the disclaimer is my Alzheimer's getting advanced. I would have mentioned that had I remembered.
He's not the goofy that he is.
Matter of fact, I'll even say, I've been hanging out, haven't seen Ophie in a while, and she was actually shocked that I threw a couple of 3-syllable words into a sentence. I think several times she said, "Wow, that wasn't stupid."
I said, "Wow, that doesn't sound like you."
It means the same thing.
But enough about John.
John has 31 mommies.
So I'm in the position of having to follow Mulligan. And just a little bullet. I did my ortho residency at UCSF with a couple of our classmates, Greg and Chris Cox, who's not here, and Brian Smith, who's not here. So we had a remarkably large contingent of the class of '86 in the orthopedic residency here at UCSF.
And you and I, we did extremities together.
That's right, that's right. We did the
We cried together one night on call when we got kind of overwhelmed. Do you remember that?
I do. I remember it a little different. I was crying and you were helping.
We both cried, and then we both like looked at each other, realized we were crying, we started to crack up.
Yeah. So my chief year of orthopedic residency, I met my wife, who is a pediatric nurse at UC, and when I got done, we moved up to Seattle, and we got married, and had a little difficulty with my first practice. Yeah, my first partner had a little issue with drugs and embezzling. And so, minor issue, no big deal.
It's gone now.
And from no matter what anyone says, I didn't almost quit medicine and do something else, but you know, that isn't me. I called my wife, who was from the East Coast, and I asked her, I said, listen, I chose to go up to Seattle, where do you want to go? She says, well, I've always wanted to live in New England. I said, that's great. I've never wanted to live in New England. I did a classic cadet compromise. And I'm in New England. 40 minutes outside of Boston. I'm at a small community, medium-sized community hospital. I'm the chairman of the orthopedic department there. And I've had a partner for 16 years, a woman who trained at Penn, who's magnificent. And I've been incredibly fortunate at that. We've been able to maintain a private practice for that period of time. And we're still going strong. And for all intents and purposes, it seems like we'll be able to continue that for a while. I've been unbelievably fortunate in my practice. I really get to do what I want to do. I do joints and scopes and a little bit of trauma, but not very much. And so I've actually been able to have a life. So I have 4 kids.
All girls, all girls, estrogen.
And
he finally got his hair.
I don't know, I came back when I started telling people I had 4 girls, everyone in the class kind of nodded their head and said, karma. Let's see what I mean. See, Jay Renee told me this. So my oldest is a freshman in high school in Trinity in Connecticut. And she's actually interested in medicine. And medicine is changing, but it's just like anything I tell my kids. If that's what you really want to do, then do it. And if it works out, that's great. If it doesn't, you'll figure out something else. My other, my second and third daughters are more artistic. I have no idea what to do to help or guide them along, but I'm doing the best that I can. And then my youngest is 12, and she's just sort of an only child because the other 2 are out and away, and so I get to spend a lot of time with her, which is really magnificent. And my wife was a pediatric ICU nurse that worked at Children's for a while in Boston, and then after we had our 3rd kid, she stayed home, and now she's just doing some community stuff, and she's trying to figure out what kind of career she's going to go on to. When my oldest daughter Vanessa told me that she was interested in medicine, it was really kind of cool. And I must say, one of the highlights of my life was having her in the operating room with me when I was operating one time. It was really a magnificent experience. And the reason that happened is because she spent about 2 weeks just rotating around the hospital looking at the different services, and I was able to set her up with the OBGYNs and the pathologists and all the different specialties so she could get an idea of what the different people did. And I said, Vanessa, you're interested in medicine, and I'm getting old, but I'll stay and I'll assist you. And she said, yeah, I am interested in medicine, but ortho, not so much. So the other wonderful thing about being here for me today, this is the first reunion I've come here to. Thank you very much, and it's been magnificent to see you all again. One of the nicest things is that you can really tell, in my opinion, true friends, because when you sit down with them, you pick up right where you left off. And that's exactly what's happened to us. It's been just wonderful for me to see everybody. The other thing that was really momentous that happened this weekend is I was able to get together with all of my siblings who are on the West Coast for the first time in 25 years. My oldest sister has not sort of been estranged from the family. We're all able to get together, so I was able to see her. We had a wonderful time together. As I was driving her back to the airport from the South Bay earlier on, she said, she's an attorney, she said, so what did you like about UCSF? And I said, I felt like I found my people. Here were this group of incredibly intelligent, talented people, and I was in the midst of them. They were having a good time, but they were working so hard, and people really cared about doing well, and it was different. It was actually valued that you worked so hard and did well, and we looked up to the people that did very well. And I said, that was the first time in my life that I really experienced that, and I felt that it was wonderful. She said, what was the worst part? And I said, they were all smarter than me.
Not true.
So as a result, of course, I went into orthopedics. And the rest is history. I got to tell you, it's been magnificent to see you all. I just can't express how wonderful it is. And the next time, in 5 years, my wife will be here with me. And thank you.
And we will all
Take a deep breath. We can be here all night.
We're doing pretty well.
We already have been. I think we're the last class here. Well, unlike Bob, where it's your first time coming back, I've been to everyone. And helping to organize and helping to call people and helping to fundraise. Mostly because I never left. So I went down to Los Angeles and spent 2 years there at Harvard UCLA in the OBGYN after we graduated, because I hadn't had a chance to do the family medicine rotation yet. And I'd already matched, and the very last rotation was family medicine. And they said, you know, you can deliver babies when you're in family medicine. I'm like, fuck! I matched in the wrong one. So pretty quickly after OBGYN, I did not, like Mike Schmitz, decide that I was going to finish one residency and go to the other. I handed in my resignation and I switched to family medicine. Down at Harvard UCLA, and I was down there with, you know, Monica Cifuentes and Brad and everybody's down there. And then Pat Padilla, very graciously, was over at San Francisco General, and she said, you know, we take in additional people in the second year, and I was like, oh, that sounds good. So I applied and got into, you know, didn't have to do the internship year over again and finished in the family medicine. And it was such a perfect background, because then when I was done, since then I've been in one practice, finished residency at the General, and I've been only at one place. I've had the same patients for 25, 27 years.
They were lucky.
And yeah, great group of people. So I delivered like 1,000 babies and did, you know, all the vacuums and did all the everything, you know, the complete family medicine. You know, teaching medical students from UCSF and coming to my office and following me around like little ducklings. So every year I get a one-year medical student from UCSF. I've been doing that since I finished. And so, and one of them is now the director of the residency program in family medicine at San Francisco General Hospital. She was the first year. Diane. And so I was her first experience with family medicine ever. And you know, I just sort of radiate family medicine, you know. and you know, like I was telling someone recently, you know, I had this 96-year-old woman come to my office this week, and she says, you know, are we supposed to be seeing a geriatrician? And I'm like, I'm your pediatrician, I'm your geriatrician, and I'm your obstetrician, I'm your gynecologist, I do it all. So anyway, it's been great. And as you know, Vivien and I have the same last names. Vivien Smith and Audrey Heffel are now Vivien D'Andrea and Audrey D'Andrea, and her kids are cousins to my children because we married brothers.
Yay. We didn't marry the same brother.
Different men. We're all friends here, it's okay. We went to Utah. No, I was a bridesmaid at her wedding and met her husband's brother for the very first time at the wedding, and then we ended up hitting it off. And so the rest is history. But then, so we separated 3 years ago. I'm not in charge. Different history. But that has also been very
And so the last 4 years or so have been huge change, total about face. I, sold my practice. I'm now an employee of Stanford, negotiating that. But I'm not a Stanford professor. I'm a UCSF professor.
Yeah, anyway. Wait, she's wearing red.
It's cardinal.
Sorry.
She was wearing red there too.
Yeah.
It infiltrated.
We knew it from the first. It was predestined. I don't know. And Vivien was, I told a couple people, was really there for me. And I had moved into my own new home in Oakland Hills. And then I discovered I had cancer and I have to go to surgery, and she's coming to all of the appointments with me. And
Yay, Vivien!
Asking the doctor's questions and going there for stereotactic biopsies and everything. So so Vivien was there for me, and that was good. I'm through that, and all of it. And so now I'm on Match.com. So if you know anybody.
Did you read your profile?
So there you go. So I'm the empty nester. Just recently, we have two kids. Oldest kid graduated from Oberlin and is living in Brooklyn, New York, and learning how to negotiate a long-distance relationship with his girlfriend. And my younger son is a freshman at UC Davis and doing well, physics major, and on the crew team.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, growing. So it's all good. Yeah.
I'll just slide in.
Yay, Vivien!
Sister-in-law of Audrey. There you go. No, I've turned it off.
What does it mean when green's green with binder?
Green usually is good. I
Turn it off, we've got to start all over.
I'm hoping green's good.
Otherwise, nothing's been taped and we have to start.
Yeah. Did you guys hear what she said? Oh, say it again.
I said, otherwise, nothing's been taped and we have to start over.
Sweeney, get up.
So anyway, Audrey gave you a little bit of the information. When I left UCSF, I went to Valley Medical Center in Santa Clara, actually San Jose, and I did an internal medicine residency, and then I became chief of
course.
Chief. Whatever it's called. Yeah,
Without saying.
Chief of something else.
Chief of something, I don't remember what it was. Yeah, my middle name was Chief. No, that's right. No, actually, what I've enjoyed as I've been talking to everyone here, all of you are like leaders in your fields. You're doing medicine really well, but many of you are leading your groups in multiple ways. Lots of different levels of acronyms and next to your name, and it's just so cool to see all these people who are amazing clinicians, but also doing something else, either in the community or in your departments or vice chancellor. No, it's really great because I mean you can just see that obviously they picked a really good group back in 1982, so I can echo what everyone else has said. I mean, this is a great group. I mean, I had amazing residency, wonderful people, but we never get together. And this is really fun because I get together and something about getting together with people you spent 2 years sitting on your backside learning all about the Krebs cycle again. It's really medical. No, but anyway, so I finished chief resident year, and then I joined what was called the Sunnyvale Clinic. Then it became the Camino Medical Group, and then we keep changing our names, but we're basically the same thing. So I'm now part of the Palo Alto Medical Foundation, which has expanded hugely because we're in competition with Stanford. So we actually don't talk anymore because she's the other side. Yeah, I'm wear blue, she wears red. Anyway, so now I'm part of this big, huge group called Sutter. It gets harder and harder, as you know, in medicine, and the more people who are in charge of you. But I'm trying my best to have some control, so I, of course, became chief of staff at my hospital.
Of course.
So I could tell them what to do. Yeah.
Of course.
Of course. You know, chief of medicine, anyway, so forget the chiefs, but I mean, what I enjoyed is I like making a difference both in my patient's world and as also in my professional world. So it's really nice to be able to have that chance, but now I'm kind of going into the twilight of my life. Not that twilight, but anyway, so I'm hoping to do a little more clinical and a little less administrative. In the meantime, I've been married now for 27 years to my husband, Stephen, who I re-met in medical school. Actually, we knew each other in high school. We weren't high school sweethearts, but we played in the same orchestra. So as you guys all know, I also play music, and I still am playing music, and he's a cellist, I'm a violist, and the rest is history. Anyway, and so fast forward a few years, yes, we make beautiful music. Anyway, so we have 2 daughters, one who's 23 living in the city and is pre-med. So everyone, I just want you to know my daughter's great.